A very good morning, my dear students. So, we were studying in our 13th chapter, that is meeting the needs of perioperative patients. So, in that, we have already discussed about the preoperative phase, intraoperative phase, and postoperative phase, and also we have discussed what is the role of the nurses and all those aspects. After that, we will study the next component of this 13th unit, that is wound. So basically wound means like when else you are going for playing something in the childhood itself, you are falling down and you are having an injury in your knee. It hurts a lot, it bleeds, you experience extreme level of pain, but gradually when you develop uh, socially and you develop physically as well, and your mentality also will strengthen up, and if now you are having a cut or injury, you are not crying like childhood because your pain tolerate level is increasing periodically. So let's see what is wound. So you all would be having wound in the childhood itself. Now like in the previous few years or past few months or past few days, you might have a wound, so it is a quite familiar word to you. There is not much description required for this, so let's move upon the definition. A wound is a type of injury in which the skin is torn, cut, punctured, or where the blunt force trauma causes contusion. So these all contusion, torn, cut, punctures, these all are kind of injuries which penetrates our skin and breaks our skin through, and it causes bleeding and also tissue damage. In pathology, it specially refers to a sharp injury which damages and determines the skin. A wound is a break or a cut in the continuity of any body structure, internal or external, caused by the physical means. So, due to any physical or external forces, if there is any kind of injury is happening to our skin, or skin is breaking down, in that condition we will call it as a wound. That may be like punctured, like when else a pin is inserted towards your skin and it is penetrating your skin, going through the tissues, by damaging your tissues going inside, and that time a whole like structure used to happen inside your tissue, so that is also known as a kind of wound. If you are working with a sharp instrument like the knife blade itself, so in that condition also there are chances that you might have a cut, and that is also known as a wound. So there are various kind of wound, we will be discussing it later on. Gradually how the topic goes on, you come to know about various kind of wounds. So let's see the classification of wound. Wound may be classified into different ways. The first one is the mechanism of injury, how it happens, and next is the degree of wound, like contamination at the time of surgery. So when the surgery is going on, if there is any contamination related to that also, the injury varies. So first we will see about the mechanism of injury. Wounds may be described as a incised or contused or lacerated or punctured wound. So these all are the kind of wound which we used to get. So incised wound means like when we are planning for a surgery. First of all, when patient is taken to the operating room itself, so doctor is taking a scalpel. Scalpel is a kind of small knife which is very sharp, and with the help of BP blade we are fixing it, and so that it is easy to use, and also it will not give a cut to the surgeon itself. So they give a cut to the skin, that is known as incision wound, or we are giving a scratch mark and we are opening the skin layer to visualize inside or to do any kind of procedure. So that is known as the incised wound. Wound may be a clear cut with a sharp instrument, like I told you, the scalpel. For example, the wounds may be done by the surgeon in every surgical procedure. That is a kind of example of incised wound. Clean ones are closed by sutures after all bleeding vessels have been ligated carefully. So what happens now, dear students, when we are going to the operation theater itself, we are opening the person's skin, and after the procedure is finished, we are ligating the blood vessels. Why we are ligating the blood vessels? We are doing it with the help of the cautery machine. So what is the cautery machine? That is like very that is operated by the electricity. And while you know that if a part is being given the electrical shock, so in that region no life is existing. So once if you are ligating that part or that vessel itself, so once again the bleeding will not happen. So one more example I'm telling you. You might have seen that there are various kind of packaged food are available in the market, like you are having the snacks, kurkure or something. There are some local made products are also there in certain shops, like where you are taking the mixtures basically. So what happens, you are taking several kind of like your flavored or as per your flavor, as per your taste, you are choosing the ingredients, they are mixing it well, they are adding the spices into it, and afterwards they are measuring it, and they are putting it into a plastic polythene, and after putting it they are sealing it with a very hot or electrical machine, which automatically seals it up so that no air can go inside, and also the air inside will not come out. So that is the basic function. So like the same way only, that there is a electrical machine that is just like a pinpoint machine, just pin like that structure is there. So it used to burn the vessels so that there will no life present in the vessel and it will not no longer bleed. So after those all bleeding points is being closed, then only the surgeon can do the stitching. Stitching means the both the layer which is incised, the both side muscle layer or tissue layer, sometimes the only the skin only, if it is cutted, then we are binding up with the sutures. Sometimes nowadays we are using the catgut, which is a natural absorbable sutures, and after doing the suturing itself, after a few days it automatically vanishes. Next is contused wound. What do you mean by contused wound? Wounds made by a blunt force and are characterized by the injury of a sharp part, hemorrhage and swelling. So what basically happens, dear students, you might have seen many a times while you are running or you are in a hurry, your knee or your elbow or sometimes your thigh is being like forced to certain objects which is obstacle on your way, so that is being obstructed your way, that's why you are rushing, so you are with a force you are going and you are falling down. In that condition there are certain bluishing of after some time, that time itself you cannot recognize because you are in the hurry. So afterwards, like one day like it has been passed, you are sleeping or something like that, you used to feel little bit of pain, or like there is some sometimes there is tingling sensation out there, you can feel it. So when you will see that area may be bluish in color or some pinkish blue in color, so that implies that that is also a kind of injury or a wound which is inside, or the bleeding is inside the skin. It didn't come out as the external force was not that much to penetrate your skin, but still as internal bleeding is there, as internal tissue is hampered or damaged, That's why we also would call it as a wound. Next is the lacerated wound. What do you mean by lacerated wound? So after each wound I have given pictures which I could collect my most, or else if you could get it in internet also, you can like it will be easier for you to understand. So how much pictures I could collect, I have collected and made it. If you want, or you want to refer something else, you can go to the internet and you can search as well. Next is the lacerated wound. Lacerated wound means the wound with jagged or irregular edges, such as the wound are made by the glass or barbed wire. Barbed wire means there is a sharp wire is there that is made up of like aluminum or a kind of copper, so it is very much sharp. So while working with all these glass materials or sharp edged materials, so these all are quite injurious for us if we are not using it with care. So there are chances, if we are just like if we are not attentive in the working place itself, so there are chances that we can have a cut or injury to our body itself. So what happens, it is a pressureful puncturing to your skin. That's why your inside skin materials also sometime comes out, or else it comes out and it is also very much difficult to suture it up. So this picture you can see, this is a kind of example of lacerated wound. Then next is the punctured wound. You can understand by this picture that puncture means a hole like structure. So in the outside you can just see the hole itself, but if you will go through that, it is more depth, and also it causes more pain to the person, as it is giving injury to your inner cell layers, so that it will also take a lot of time to heal up, and also it will take a lot of time to reduce your pain. Next is degree of contamination. So as per that also there are certain segregations. Let's see what all are the segregations. Wounds may be described as clean or clean contaminated or dirty or infected wounds. Clean wounds means what happens? Uninfected surgical wounds in which there is no inflammation and are involvement of respiratory, alimentary, genital or urinary tracts are not entered. They are closed with the sutures if necessary. A closed drainage system is inserted. The probability wound infection is 1 to 5%. So what happens, dear students, when we are talking about this kind of wound? What happens, there is a clear cut sharp mark is there, so you need not to suture it like sometimes what happens, it also automatically goes off, or else if it is little bit depth, if you want, if you think that the skin layer is opened up, like it is opening its mouth, so in that context you can also suture it. So it is a very clear cut, and also as it is not much depth itself, so that you can just make a simple dressing to it, you can disinfect it, and also you can apply certain kind of antimicrobial cream or lotion or a top upon that, and also you can cover it up. So in that context what happens, as it is not in a much depth area, that's why the infection rate is also lesser, like 1 to 5%. Next is clean contaminated wound. The surgical wound in which the respiratory, alimentary, genital, urinary tract entered are under controlled conditions. Usually there is no contamination. The probability of wound is 3 to 11%. So when like there is a contaminated wound is there due to any kind of infectious thing, if we are not maintaining proper hygienic methods, if we are not taking proper hygienic standards, we are not maintaining in the OT room itself, if our practices are not that much of hygienic, so in that condition there the infection wound infection rate would be 3 to 11%. Next is contaminated wound. Contaminated wound means the open, fresh or accidental wounds, and the surgical procedures would measure the breaks in the aseptic technique or the gross spillage from the gastrointestinal tract, and also the tract are including this category of incisions in which there are acute or non-purulent inflammation. The probability of the wound infection is 10 to 17%. So what happens here, dear students? It is already contaminated due to the accessories factors. If we are going through any kind of surgery, that may be gastrointestinal surgery, that also can be the genitourinary urinary system related surgeries. So what happens? If we are not following the proper aseptic technique, there are chances infection will occur. Due to infection there will be inflammation, and also in certain times the raise of temperature in that particular body area will arise, and the infection but it will not be purulent. Purulent means a very much infected wound where the pus are being collected inside, and there are growth of microorganisms inside, and also it will take a lot of time to heal up. So what is the ratio of that? That is 10 to 17% is generally. Next is dirty infected wound. So what do you mean by dirty infected wound? The wound are those in which the organisms that caused the post-operative infections were present in the operative field before the surgery. This included the retained devitalized tissue of the old traumatic wounds and those that involves the existing clinical infections. The probability of the wound is 27%. So what happens when we are going for this kind of wound care? That time what we can see that if we will take a history, we can identify the wound would be for a longer period of time with the person, like the foot ulcers, if the person is diabetic itself, if he is not taking a proper care of his body, if he is not maintaining a proper hygiene. So in that condition what happens, the small diabetic foot ulcer also can cause a big gangrene, can convert into a big gangrene and cause the death of the person as well. So the ratio of this is 27%. So how we can treat it? When the bacterial contamination is expected, the the prophylactic antibiotics and are administered, or a prophylactic device is inserted to the wound. What basically happens in the clinical area, let me tell you students, that if a wound is already infected, for example you had undergone or the patient had undergone any kind of surgery, like orthopedic surgery for example you take. So what happens, he had undergone the arthroscopic surgery or any kind of knee replacement or hip replacement kind of surgery. If he is not taking a proper care in that condition, what will happen? This may cause a fatal condition, and also the infection will increase in the area and it will transmit to the bloodstream itself through the bone marrow, and also it will cause the systemic infection. So when the bacterial contamination is expected, like the prophylactic antibiotic I told you that we have to give, so the proper dose has to be completed, that may be of 7 days, 5 days or 4 days as per the person's requirement, and as per the doctor's advice only we can take it. Next is debridement is done for the infected wounds in which the revitalized and in infected tissues, that is IN, mistakenly it has been converted to it, So don't be confused, my students. Write it as infected. So which revitalize and infected tissue is removed, and then the wound is closed, then only we can close the wound. Once again we have to open up the wound area. This is basically, this procedure is being done in the hospital itself. So the normal wound area has to be reopened, reassessed for any kind of infection or any kind of abnormality, then once again it is being closed. Then next is, after that a small drain is inserted before the wound is sutured to prevent the lymph and blood from collecting and helping the healing process. So what happens, dear students, when we are going through this whole procedure? So what happens, there are chances that the buildup of inside bleeding, and also the lymph nodes also can secrete certain kind of enzymes. So what happens in that condition, there are chances that the person can get the infection more and more. So to prevent that, we are doing one thing at the post operative stage itself. As we know that from the wound there will be drain of the unnecessary materials. So to drain it out, we place a small as per the requirement, we can take a small kind of drainage tube or drainage bag, or else we can take also a larger as per the person's disease condition itself. So these all are the basic thing which we have discussed today. I hope everything would be clear to you, like what is wound, then definition of wound, what are the classifications of wound. If you will go through the net itself, you can you can get several kind of pictures. There are like stab injury and all, you can also get that, also can be classified within this. So don't be confused. If you are getting that picture as well, there are so many kind of wounds has been mentioned, that also you can write it in your notebook if you want, or else you can write this one also, but it would be better if you are combining both the things and writing. So this much for today. In the next class we will discuss about the wound healing process. What is the phases of wound healing, what all are the steps of wound healing, and later on we will see that what all are the risk factors and what all thing upon which the wound healing depends on. So these all have to be considered inside our mind before we are caring for any kind of surgical patient itself. That's why we are in the peri-operative need of the person, we are also studying the wound care. That's why you may think that we are studying the needs of the peri-operative patient, so why we are studying the wound care. So, and also in your day-to-day life, wherever you are there, if they like, for God's sake, if any of your family members would be like in all these kind of conditions, if you are knowing, you are having little bit of knowledge regarding the wound, how to care it, so you can help them to recover sooner or faster. Thank you so much for attending the class. We will see in the next class the remaining portions. Have a good day.